Pro-Russian separatists in southeastern regions are demanding referenda on splitting with Ukraine, the same kind of vote that took place last month in Crimea after Russian troops took control there. Appearing before a Senate committee Tuesday, Secretary Kerry said the Obama administration is preparing a far tougher series of sanctions if Russia does not step back from what he calls its clear and unmistakable involvement in destabilizing eastern Ukraine.
So Russia has a choice: to work with the international community to help build an independent Ukraine that could be a bridge between East and West, not the object of a tug of war, that could meet the hopes and aspirations of all Ukrainians. Or they could face greater isolation and pay the cost for their failure to see that the world is not a zero-sum game.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov denies any involvement in the unrest and says it's the government in Kiev that's making things worse.
The situation cannot be calmed down and changed into national dialogue if the Ukrainian authorities go on ignoring the interests of the southeastern regions of the country.
But Moscow's actions make it harder for Washington to convince Kiev to grant Russian-speaking provinces greater autonomy, says American University professor Keith Darden.
I think the Russians don't understand how much they've worsened their position in Kiev by what they've done in Crimea, and in many ways tied the hands of the United States and prevented us from essentially reaching a more cooperative solution.
Kerry says Washington's preference is a negotiated settlement, but it will not hesitate to use what he calls 21st century tools to hold Russia accountable for 19th century behavior. Scott Stearns, VOA News at the State Department.